I mean, we like to go at a good tempo, and then we kind of pick our spots where we might speed it up a little bit more or even slow it down. But they're blazing, and and that's why they get a lot of offside penalties too. They play so fast, and then boom, it's a dummy call. It's a hard count, and you're jumping offside. So they get a ton. I think they've gone for it on fourth down 27 times. They're just a fast, aggressive, do what they do offense. And so it's different, but from where it was, however many years ago, when I went to kind of more tempo spread attack here, the questions were, and Larry, you're one of the guys that were in here, the questions were, can we be a good defense, And you didn't ask me, but I'm just saying you were in the room. You may have asked me that. I don't know if you did or not, but you can attest to the people in the room. That was the big question back in those days. It was like, the rhetoric was, well, you're never going to be good on you can't win a championship with a spread up tempo offense. That was that mindset. Oh, you're never going to be able to do that. Can't be good on defense. Name a spread team. And then it was like, well, you can't be an NFL quarterback if you come from a spread offense. Well, that can't happen. That's never going to happen. That doesn't transition. Now you turn on the NFL, and I'm seeing zone read. I'm seeing RPOs. I'm seeing tempo. I see tons of shotgun. And that's what's happened, I think, as the high school football changed and the dynamics of athletics changed, it affected college ball. And now college ball used to be the other way around. And then, I remember my specific answer to the first time I was asked that was, well, I don't think we got enough data to say, let's just kind of give it 3 or 4 years here. I don't know if we're going to, I don't believe that. I think we can be good on defense. I don't think it, just because you go tempo, I mean, what does that mean? That just could be hurry up and get off the field too. Get the ball back to your offense, if you got the right defense. And so just because somebody's running a hurry-up offense, that don't mean you can't be good on defense. And so that's what's happened here, which is, again, was one of the reasons I hired Brent. His background in the Big 12 and what he had been exposed to, but also what he had been exposed to on his practice field. You got to remember now, he practiced against Mike Leach every day. He practiced against Kevin Wilson every day. He practiced against, the air raid every day, which is we're different, a lot different than that. But he loved that. He loved the challenge that it presented him as a defensive coach. And yes, I do think defenses have adjusted. I think personnel has changed a little bit. You're seeing more guys like Dorian O'Daniel, those hybrid type of guys. And you got those big, they're hard to find, but those athletic defensive ends. I think the biggest thing is people are just learning how to coach. Learn how to coach the techniques that you have to give yourself a chance to be successful. That's the biggest thing, because it's just different. It's different. You can't just put your hand in the ground and fly up the field and, spill on the power and squeeze, scrape, and all. There's just a lot of things that go into it, and how you fit the run game, where your eyes are in the play action game, because there's just different presentations than there used to be. And so there's been a lot of changing from a coaching standpoint. And the defensive coaches have definitely caught up in many, many ways from where they were, 4 or 5 years ago.
Coach, 9 years ago, or 9 years is a long time. Will you be reflecting it all on Friday afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That day is locked in my mind forever. That's the first thing I saw. I saw the schedule. I was like, son of a gun, October 13th. I just hope it's a good Friday the 13th. But I was like, wow, how about that? Yeah, I always reflect. I love to kind of remember where we came from, and then put my eyes on just being great where we are, and just keep plowing ahead, man. But yeah, that'll be a neat day, no matter what happens.
Talked about the importance of student attendance, and I realize we're going into an away game, but talk about that again, especially after the Wake Forest game when it appears that not all the students use their tickets and the importance of that for that loud atmosphere that you just talked about in Syracuse.
Yeah, our atmosphere is unbelievable. It really is, and I know they sold all the tickets. I don't know, but and again, that's administration. They're working on all that stuff and trying to figure out, make sure everything's coordinated properly. But I mean, they'll get all that figured out. But I can just tell you, our it's very important that we have a great environment, and every university, every football team wants to have a great home environment. And we got that. It's unbelievable. So, I know there's been a few changes or whatever. I'm not in the weeds on all that stuff, so I don't really know. I'm trying to get a football team ready to play. That's my part. That's my job. And administration will handle all that other stuff, Joe Galbraith and all that crew.
Last year I asked you about the air raid, and if you remember a Syracuse game, and we're not the air raid team. This year's question? What's your philosophy on fourth down conversions? Do you ascribe to a method? Do you have a system, a chart, or?
Yeah, I'm not a big. Some of these people got what you call them analytic teams or something. They kind of tell you. I'm just old fashioned, and I just go with my gut. And the flow of the game, how my defense is playing, how we match up. The call that we have. Particular calls that we have, we spend a lot of time studying fourth down. That's not something we just get into a game and go, okay, let's go for it on fourth down. We've put a couple of hours or more into studying fourth down on what we would do if it's 4th and 1, if it's 4th and 2, it's 4th and 3, it's 4th and 12. So we actually spend a lot of time on that. Just like we spend a lot of time on second and long. Sometimes I don't think people spend enough time on second and long, offensively and defensively. But we have a plan, and then, it's just flow of the game, score of the game, momentum of the game, how we're playing on defense. There's a lot of factors that go into that I think, you make a decision on. And, so that's just an instinct, but we don't wing it. I mean, we've got a plan.
Have you evolved on that throughout the years, or has that been your philosophy from the?
That's pretty much been my philosophy. I mean, when sometimes you, and that's the other thing too. How you moving the ball? Are you really struggling to move the ball? But no, I really haven't changed much, on that, over the years. We've made our fair share. I think we were 3 of 3 last week on fourth down.
You guys have been really good at scoring on the opening drive under Jeff and Tony. What does that do for you when you're able to get a lead early on that first drive and take a 7-0?
Yeah, when you got a great defense, it puts them in a hole, right out of the gate. It really does. So I think they deferred last week, and so we were excited about that. All right, let's get the ball, let's go. And if we play defense, we're like, all right, let's get a stop, and we're going to get good field position. Let's go score. Now we're going to get it. So we embrace whatever happens in that situation, and but I think it just speaks to the mindset of our team, the readiness. Our staff does an awesome job in really having them prepared for what we think we're going to see, and you never really know until you get into the game. For sure, and then you try to make some adjustments off of that, and they make adjustments too. I think not just since Tony. I think we've been really good an opening team for quite a while. We've been pretty good at in that first quarter. And sometimes you don't score, but just creating the field position and putting your defense out there on a long field, that's a win too.
Being more efficient in the red zone, is that a product of maybe being more run-based, or has that sort of been a point of emphasis for you?
Just turnovers. I mean, if we don't turn it over in the red zone last year, it would have been unbelievable. That's the difference in our team this year is the timing of turnovers. We got less turnovers than we had last year. Well, we got about maybe 7 or so, 6 or 7, and last year we probably had 10 or so about this time. But it was where they were. I mean, we had it was a crazy number. It seemed like when we turned it over, we were inside the red zone. So as a result, you have, now you've put drives together, and then you come away with no points. And now you have some close games, or maybe you could have put some of those games away, but you don't finish in the red zone, but yet you took time off the clock, and now you don't get anything for it. It's kind of that double-edged sword. Whereas this year, we've done a much better job taking care of the ball in the red zone. We're 17 out of 20 touchdowns. And that is off the charts. That's like 85%. So it starts with taking care of the ball. Yes, being able to run the ball, that was one of the things we thought we'd be able to do better this year. And last year, I think we are averaging maybe 170 or so rushing. We're 230 plus now. I mean, that's a significant improvement. We're very balanced. I think we're rushing for about 237, throwing for about 230. That's difficult. When you can be a balanced team and then have a defense that denies balance, and then you can be sound in your special teams, you got a chance to win a lot of games. And so if you're going to be a great red zone team, first of all, you got to be able to run the football. You need an athletic quarterback. You got to be able to win matchups, because you're going to get matchups, you're going to get one-on-ones, you got to be able to win those, and you got to be able to make kicks inside that zone. So we've been good in those areas. We haven't had to rely on making many kicks. The two kicks that Spence have missed have been, I think 41 and 42, hit the pole on the 42-yarder, but the one close one he made. So, we've just got to be good in all those areas. But it starts with being able to run the ball, because now all of a sudden you got some of your play actions game that you can set up, just like you saw us hit Cam.